Also tonight, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs accused of sex trafficking and sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in federal court here in New York.
New lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, bringing some serious claims against the music mogul, brought by his former longtime girlfriend.
Puffy might be the destination for anybody going nowhere. Nobody survived.
Diddy's troubles are not about to go anywhere anytime soon, because even if there was any plan for a soft landing, 50 Cent won't let him. 50 is out for blood and just recently revealed how Diddy abused Cassie in an exclusive video that everyone had forgotten even existed. But you can't blame 50. Brother Love has been digging his own grave for years. His history of abuse would fill a spreadsheet from the White House down to Connecticut. In this video we'll be breaking down every last bit of it. What is this video that 50 has that could end Diddy? Why are the odds stacked so high against Brother Love? And is there a way he could come out of this a free man? Let's find out. Cassie.
What a beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a tape of this?
Oh, I'm going to send it to you. I will email it to you.
Email me the
Yes.
whole thing.
Yes,
I love
yes,
it. I love that you're constantly crushing the glass ceiling, or crushing the block.
If you know the context of this video, if you know what the 3 a.m. video is and what Diddy was promising to email to Andre, you will know that Cassie literally escaped a nightmare when she left him. It's interesting because this entire section is about the videos and tapes that Diddy sent, and the 3 a.m. video was basically an extension of all that. But that's a wild claim to make, so what's the proof? More specifically, what proof would someone like 50 Cent have that would quite probably have ended Diddy if he allowed Cassie to take him to trial? It's an interesting question that will take us down memory lane. If you were in tune with the times back in the early 90s, I'm talking 1991, this ain't even about Cassie because we're about to chart out a very toxic element of Diddy's incredibly toxic persona. The woman in question was someone named Joy Dickerson Neal, and her claim against Diddy came while she was in college when he was still a talent agent. This was before Bad Boy Records was even a thing. Before Diddy got his autonomy, she says that she had gone on a date with him, and while they were on that date, Diddy had spiked her drink. She knows this because when he drove her to his music studio, she couldn't walk. It was during all of that he made a move on her and assaulted her. But remember, this is a video about videos and tapes, because it turns out that Diddy not only committed assault on her, he filmed it and then sent it to 2 of his associates. How does she know this? Well, because Devante Swing, a member of the R&B group Jodeci, told her. This is not hearsay, this is documented, and the individuals who said these things are still alive and haven't gone back on their statements. And if this sounds new to you and you're wondering why the woman didn't go to the police when it happened, her reason was simple. Shame and fear that she would lose out on a record deal that Diddy had promised her. Now draw that same line through the 90s, through the creation of Bad Boy, its rise, dominance, and eventually leading up to Cassie. The common denominator is Diddy using promises of record deals to control the artists, mostly female, that he wanted to assault. That's why he gave Cassie a 10-year album deal from the jump. It was unheard of at the time. I mean, no offense to her, but she wasn't much of a singer, and that's being generous. She couldn't write, she could dance, but it wasn't anything special. But she was attractive, and that's all Diddy cared about. Diddy wanted her, so he did the most manipulative thing he could to get her, and once he had her, to keep her, he resorted to blackmail. Before we get to what 50 heard and saw, let's talk about what Cassie said in her lawsuit. In the lawsuit, Cassie stated clearly that Diddy had forced her to have sex with male escorts while he watched.
That girl went through some tumultuous shit that she never thought that she would ever have to go through being in the music business. Do you understand?
But it gets even worse because Diddy forced Cassie to find the men herself. Before she would sleep with them, he drugged her. And finally, like he had done to the woman from college, he filmed all of it. My mother always told me, many people won't tell the same lie all the time. So for the Diddy apologists out there, what's up? How do you explain this? And before you answer, know that there's more. Those tapes that Diddy shot were used as collateral. Really, it was blackmail material. Anytime she threatened to leave, he threatened to release them, and eventually he did that in 2010, during a radio interview with DJ Who Kid on Shade 45, 50 Cent talked about a similar tape he saw that made him question Diddy's relationship with Cassie. At first, 50 wasn't even aware that Diddy knew the images existed, because they were sent to his personal phone from an unknown source, and they were explicit. Very explicit. In his own words, they were worse than anything people had seen. When you think about who 50 is and how short the list of people is who would have direct access to his personal number, you realize it was either Diddy or someone close to him who sent it? But like I said before, Diddy didn't know that. In fact, 50 immediately called him to inform him about
with
it.
this girl, like, you really, like, you like her like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you something. You look at it, you call me
So
back.
50 Cent sent him the images, and Diddy called back saying they had been obtained by his people and that it was a mistake. But 50, who already knew the type of person Diddy was, didn't believe that. Diddy had taken those images as collateral for Cassie. It was his way of controlling her. And that was probably the moment where 50's total disregard for Diddy began.
Then he was like, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like, we could just hang out. And he was like, why don't we, like, go shopping? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what this just say?
Because you can bet that if it were someone else, he might not have cared. But 50 could see that the girl was in danger. He could see that Diddy's relationship with Cassie wasn't just fake, it was destructive. And the images he sent to Diddy for confirmation were all the proof he needed. But there had always been signs that Diddy himself would post online for the world.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say.
You could argue that nothing here proves abuse, but if you knew what Diddy did to the partner he had before Cassie, if you knew what he did to the mother of his children, Kim Porter, you wouldn't question the context, you would understand the pattern.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We interrupt your browsing for this emergency announcement. This is my girl, Kim, my lovely girlfriend. KP, Kim Porter.
Let me paint the picture for you. The year is 2005, and by this time Diddy and Kim Porter had been involved for more than 10 years. Well, technically, as she said, it was an on and off relationship for more than a decade. During one of those periods when they were together, Diddy heard a rumor. The rumor was that Kim had gotten into a relationship with a colleague of his in the industry. So Diddy lured her to St. Tropez, rented a yacht, and led Kim on with the idea that they were about to have a good time. That was not the case. Bodyguards reported hearing loud arguments starting from 2 a.m., and by 7 a.m., it had escalated into a physical altercation. In the aftermath, Diddy had allegedly beaten Kim so badly that he broke her nose that he then flew in a specialist surgeon from Geneva to repair her nose and keep her out of the public eye until it had healed enough. But it gets even crazier because if you try searching for this story online, you would find almost nothing. Articles, like the one from The Sun that originally reported it, are no longer available, and images of Kim from that time showing her with a bandaged nose have almost completely disappeared from the internet. This is supposedly one of the last surviving images. My theory is that Diddy went to great lengths to clean his digital footprint and ensure there was no trace left. Because when it happened in 2005, it was a big deal, and he knew he messed up. But you don't have to take my word for it or the word of a newspaper. Gene Deal also spoke on it.
Did you hear about the fact that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht?
Wow, I ain't hear about that.
He broke Kim, let's say allegedly, but it was told by people in her camp that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht.
Bad boy artist Mark Curry has said the exact same thing. He claims he witnessed the toxic relationship Kim had with Diddy, how he allegedly abused her repeatedly and how she suffered significantly at his hands. When the Art of Dialogue asked him whether Diddy had broken Kim's nose, this was his response.
Speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust the nose, man.
Many Diddy apologists have claimed that Mark is only speaking out because of their dispute over publishing rights. But my answer to that is simple. There's hardly anyone who has worked with Diddy who hasn't had issues over publishing at some point. And if you've been following this story, you've probably noticed a pattern. Just like he allegedly did with Cassie, Diddy would also monitor Kim Porter's phone. Mark Curry even said that anytime someone goes out of their way to tap phones or monitor conversations, it's a serious red flag. And it's not just Kim and Cassie. Misa Hilton, who is the mother of Diddy's oldest son Justin, has also reportedly experienced violence at his hands that it gets even more disturbing. Mark also claimed that when Diddy hosted parties, there were separate drinks for female guests. Drinks that were allegedly tampered with. If the music industry were a person, it might resemble Diddy, because just when you think things can't get worse, it goes deeper. That's why Gene Deal insists that Kim's story is similar to Cassie's. The difference is that Cassie got out, while Kim didn't. There's nuance here, and what I'm about to say is sensitive, but it needs to be acknowledged. Sometimes people in abusive situations become so deeply involved that they struggle to leave and may even defend their abuser. For example, after the nose injury, when Kim was asked what happened, she reportedly said she accidentally hit a table. Maybe that's true, or maybe she was covering up. Now fast forward 2 years to 2007. Kim was pregnant with their twin daughters when she discovered Diddy had been unfaithful. She ended the relationship after that. However, in interviews, it seemed like she was still emotionally tied to him. In an interview with Essence, she said, "I wanted to be dramatic. I wanted him to know I wasn't breaking up for 2 weeks or leaving for 2 days." What made things worse was that Diddy had already had a child with another woman 5 months before Kim gave birth to their twins. Their history went way back, even to the time of Tupac. Eventually, Diddy admitted the truth and they separated for good. Now, if you were in Kim's position, what would you do? Most people would try to distance themselves emotionally while focusing on the children. Unfortunately, Kim did the opposite. She later said in essence, "Sean and I have this bond, this friendship." We all know how Kim Porter's story ended. Cassie was able to leave because she recognized the situation she was in.
Model and longtime girlfriend of entertainer Sean Diddy Combs, Kim Porter, was laid to rest yesterday in her hometown of Columbus, Georgia. Funeral taking place at Cascade Hills Church. Porter leaves behind 3 children with Combs and an older son by singer Al B. Shore.
Kim Porter passed away, and as expected, many people who had followed their relationship suspected Diddy might have been involved. However, the autopsy reported that the cause of death was pneumonia, and Diddy was not nearby when she passed. So why did people still suspect him? It may have had something to do with a book Kim Porter was allegedly working on at the time of her death.
It was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy.
The book was said to be a detailed account of her relationship with Diddy, a tell-all that could have exposed everything. It was rumored to include serious allegations about his personal life, relationships, and behavior. A book like that, coming from someone so close to him, would have carried weight. And unlike with Cassie, fewer people might have questioned it. It's not that people don't believe Cassie, it's more that some haven't taken her claims as seriously as they should have, especially after the reported settlement. Maybe if more voices had spoken up, people would have listened more closely.
He tried it on me, so I know it's true. I got a phone call in the middle of the night, about 2:30 in the morning. It was, my wife says, "Pick up the phone." It was an unknown
The story
number.
that Columbus Short shared is said to be very similar to what others in the industry have described after crossing paths with Diddy. According to these accounts, his behavior was complex and controversial, with claims that have been repeated by multiple individuals over time.